The first half of Psalm 24 revolves around a question. Who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? And who shall stand in his holy place? And the question asks more than who can serve in the temple. It's not merely one hill or one holy place that belongs to the Lord. As the first verse says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and those who dwell therein. As Paul says in Acts 17:24, the Lord of heaven and earth does not live in temples made by man. God doesn't uniquely reside somewhere. He simply is everywhere. So the God who created all things summons you to come up to him. Not surprisingly, the standard for successfully meeting with God is stringent. He can stand before God who has clean hands and a pure heart and is completely sold out to the truth, verse 4 says. You must be righteous to stand before God. But that's the problem. Paul says in Romans 3:1, none is righteous. No, not one. No one understands. No one seeks for God. So you can't stand before God. The law's righteous demands instead prove that you're lost. Who can come then before God and not despise himself like Job, fall on his face like Ezekiel, or prepare to die like Isaiah? Because of this reality, the end of the psalm is both a surprise and a relief. To answer the psalm's question, no one but God himself can ascend his holy hill. And that's just what God does. He comes in through the gates, the ancient doors of the city. David didn't know it, but he was prophesying about Christ's ascension. Christ came down to earth as God's champion, strong and mighty in battle, as verse 8 says. He squared off against the old serpent and crushed his head. And so Jesus is worthy, as Revelation 5 says, to receive power and wealth and wisdom and might and honor and glory and blessing, because by his blood he ransomed a people for God. We can't ascend God's holy hill, so God descends to take us up with him back to the Father. Your heart isn't pure, but the heart of Jesus is. Your hands aren't clean, but the hands of Jesus are. And so wash yourself in Jesus' blood, rest in his righteousness, and then answer the question of Psalm 24 again. Who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? By faith, I will. Not I alone, but through Christ in me, I will stand in God's holy place. Psalm 24, a psalm of David. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and those who dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas and established it upon the rivers. Who shall ascend the hill of the Lord, and who shall stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who does not lift up his soul to what is false. He does not swear deceitfully. He will receive blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. Such is the generation of those who seek him, who seek the face of the God of Jacob. Selah. Lift up your heads, O gates, and be lifted up, O ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord, strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O gates, and lift them up, O ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah.